What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. Hey, hold on, let me spit my gum. I'm back. Yo, this video today, it's a particularly sad one to tell you the truth, man. But I guess it's something that we got to talk about. What's happening with our community or just people around us in everyday life. I'm going to play some of the video for you. I'm not going to play all of it because it's kind of gruesome or it get bad in the end. So I'm just play part of it and then y'all can go check the rest of the video out for yourselves, all right?
Ladies, get your food. Who? Get in the car. Who? Ladies, get your food. Get your food. If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh my God, I say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
And I'm gonna stop it right there because you can clearly see that it gets bad. And this video end with this guy here. He ended up dying due to him being shot in the back. So I got a news article on what happened in the video, and I'm gonna read it here with y'all. It says around 11 p.m. Hood went inside Maxwell Street Express to pick up some food while her son waited in the car. While she was waiting in line, Hood got into an argument with Brown, prosecutor said. Hood then started texting her son, pointing to him outside. Her son entered Maxwell and stood in the doorway, to which point Brown punched Hood in the head 3 times, prosecutor said. Court documents stated after the first punch, the boy pulled out a gun and fired a shot at Brown, striking him in the back. Brown ran out to the restaurant, and the boy followed him, firing additional shots. Hood told her son to keep shooting Brown until he killed him. Wow. Once the shooting was over, Hood told her son to shoot a witness who was egging on the argument she was having earlier. Hood tried to wrangle the gun away from her son, but he pushed her away. Wow. Then they got into the vehicle and drove home together. Surveillance video captured both of them arriving home after the shooting. Brown suffered 2 gunshot wounds to the back and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Hood turned herself into the police. Her son turned himself in as well. It says Hood has a valid Illinois FOID card, which is a firearms owner identification card, and a concealed carry license card. And that was it. I've seen people post this and talk about this so many times, and I've seen people say, free the mom and the son. I've seen people say, keep them locked up. I've seen people say that dude didn't deserve it. I've seen people say that he deserved everything that he had coming. The mother for sure should be locked up. The son, unfortunately, he's just a product of his environment. He's very impressionable at this time. He was protecting somebody he loved. Unfortunately, that person took his protection for murder and insisted that he continue to do something that's terrible. That man is dead because he didn't know how to control himself. He had no accountability for himself because he wanted to put his hands on someone. This here just shows the lack of real men that we need in our society. This young boy is in this position, a life-changing position now because of his mother, because she insisted on he do something because of her emotions, because she felt some type of way, because she didn't know how to be quiet. This also shows that we as men is being raised in a women-driven society, because all of this right here revolved around a woman, a man dying and a man, his life being changed forever because of a woman and her feelings. Now, this is not nothing to blame on a woman. A woman is going to be a woman. This is something actually to blame on men. Men need to be more active in everyday life, in men life, in young boys' life. They need to be more active in women's life. I seen a particular post for the young man that was killed. I'm guessing it came from a family member or possibly a friend. Right or wrong, I'm riding. You didn't deserve this, baby. He was loved. He got kids. He got a mother that loves him, family that love him, friends that love him. He was a person that both probably wasn't wrong, but don't give you the right to have his life took. This right here shows clear and unaccountability that he was given in his life. He did this with ease. It's almost to a point where you can say he did it so easily that he's done it before. And because he done it before and he was never checked on it, or he was praised for it, or he was possibly never given consequences for it, he decided to do it again, but this time it cost him his life. 77% of all inmates, male and females, were raised in single mother households. Men commit 88% of all violent crimes. And that's because men produce 20 times more testosterone than women. That's despite that the average man testosterone level is down 55% less than our grandfathers, and so forth and so forth. But testosterone leads to violence. The difference between now and back then is that men were involved in young men's life. They had more discipline and accountability to show forth towards. Now, the woman ain't no saying this either. I've seen posts where people said that lady should have shut up, which is, I think it's true. The woman should have shut up. But because we are in the society that we are in now, in this first world country, that women feel as though they don't have to be quiet because they know that a man will come to their rescue at some point in time. In this particular moment, her 14-year-old son came to her rescue, who is impressionable and who loved her a lot. And like I said, she took his defense of her to murder. And I've also seen men under those posts saying that she should have shut up, saying, nah, I disagree because a real man wouldn't have hit her. Understandable, completely understandable. That's true, but we have to understand that we are not in a society where real men are a common thing now. And we have to understand that we are not in a society where a real woman is not a common thing now. Women are more masculine than anything in today's society. A real man wouldn't have hit her, but a real woman wouldn't have been in that position to argue with a man knowing that her life is in danger, knowing that she has a firearm, knowing that her 14-year-old son is out in the car with a firearm. Now, with that being said, that woman has a degree of responsibility to understand that she has a firearm, that a firearm is in place. Not only do you have a firearm, but it's a possibility that someone else in there have a firearm, and that you and your son can lose your life, or you can take somebody's life. People with firearms seem to feel invincible, to understand that don't say nothing to me because I can end your life. Where in fact that you have more of a responsibility to stay out of confrontations, to relax on things. If you see something happening, you try to avoid it at all costs unless it comes straight to you. Her actions have changed her son's life forever. Her actions has changed his life forever because she failed to teach him stoicism, and that man's life has changed forever because he don't understand stoicism. And those other men that's in there watching him hit her, watching them argue, watching them fight, life has changed forever because they failed to show stoicism, because they failed to show masculinity. Everything in this revolves around people being unaccountable, not being held accountable, and not showing masculinity when it's time to show it. If that man would not have hit that woman and showed that it's no point in me arguing with her, his masculine traits would have overcome and say, hey, this not even worth it, and walked away. If that woman wouldn't being so masculine and understand it's time for me to shut up because it's a battle that I cannot fight, I would have to end up killing this guy, she wouldn't have been in that position. If that young man would have had men in his life to teach him, hey, listen, it's time to get my mother out of the situation, or my mother is doing too much. Let me grab her and move on. The situation could have been changed. And if those men that was in that store that watched them argue, that watched them fight, would have stepped in and intervened, got in between them like, hey, chill, stop, and not record on their phone, the situation could have been de-escalated as well. So everything revolves around masculinity. Masculinity wins the battle, triumphs the battle over evil, over anything. Men are held accountable when masculinity is in it. Women are held accountable when masculinity is in it. All those around are held accountable when masculinity is in it. We as a society need to get better with bringing masculine back into our lives so we can have better lives. But I'm going to give y'all two to the side. I'm out.